Hello, I'm Rhonda Smith, and this is my show titled Say I Am You, held in February 2022 at the Kingston Gallery, Boston, USA. The pieces gather around a poem by the Persian Sufi mystic Rumi from the 1200s. Say I Am You is a poem that allows us to enter a scale. Rumi moves us away from our small selves and shows us a way to be related to the cosmos and our planet. And it may be what is missing from our efforts to rescue ourselves. I'm going to read just a little bit of the poem, and I hope you will read it in its entirety. I am all orders of being, the circling galaxy, the evolutionary intelligence, the lift and the falling away. What is and what isn't? You who know Jalaluddin, you, the one in all. Say who I am. Say I am you. This is the first piece in the show, Exuberance Green. And the exuberance just relates to all those colors of green and the kind of up swoop of the shape. And it brings the question of whether is it falling apart or coming together. And I think it also wants to be touched. And I think this is a hopeful piece. So even if it disintegrated, something very interesting would be the result. Here we have deep into turquoise and burgundy, and it is color. On the end, we have a very marked up piece of paper, and then we have more texture in this very involved shape. And then on top of that is this strange formation. You can't quite tell what it's doing there. Very adhered. I think this piece is very tactile. Here's the rough part, and then we go into this silk, which is very sensuous. But I have to say the whole piece is weird. I do like the color. Trekking is a piece that's mostly paper reinforced, but it has a lot of mixed media on it. And it's influenced by scholars' rocks. The idea that you could project yourself on some surface and travel there, very simply. I like this section, and here's this odd little formation. There's lots of materials here, though. There's this netting that has beautiful shadows. And then we get up to these kind of satellite view pieces that are made from glue and cork and cardboard and pigment, all kinds of things. And there's also cording in here. This is collapse. There were so many things I was thinking when I was making this piece, but it holds the same question as the exuberance piece. Is it coming together or bursting apart? And this upper right corner piece itself was a subject of collapse induced by me because it was just a terrible blob of a sculpture and cement and foam and paper mache. And I ended up with a piece that I could adjoin to these other pieces. It's also very tactile, and inside here is a little secret purple silk. And there's another secret in this sculpture, and you'd have to come see it to find it. Whoa, now we have this wall-sized sculpture. It's 8 feet tall and 12 feet wide, but the middle element is 4 feet wide. It's called Your Past. It refers to deep time past and your personal past, which isn't what we think it is. And unlimited scale. This is Cathedral of Clouds. It looks just like that. I really liked how this piece turned out in the end. I loved the material and the way where it folds on itself. It creates these white lines. It's very diaphanous and from some other world. And then down here, there's this kind of also a secret, a very rough element. And when you go above, you see there's more of it behind the material. You can't tell exactly where it is and what shape it is. When I made this, I was thinking of dragons fantastically because they're associated with the heavens and weather. I also wasn't going to put this piece in the show. The thought police arrived and just said, oh, it's to this and it's not enough that. And I listened to that for a while, and then I'm glad I put it in the show. And here we have the two pieces together. The front one, the tree-like one, is called Aberrations. And I like how it ended up working with Cathedral of Clouds in the background. The two had a correspondence when they were in my studio, but I wasn't sure how they're going to look until they got together in the gallery, and then they interacted as if they're on their own special planet. And Aberrations is made of many, many materials. It has clay and paper mache and this natural branch that you see. And when we get down below, you'll see also other materials. There's cement, wire, some more cording, rock, silk. Everything is in here. The formations, which are rather weird, are the result of looking at, over many years, the formations you find on trees that are aberrant, but the tree grows nevertheless. And this last piece is called Nest Object, Eagle, Clam. During COVID, I made a whole series of nest objects. I call them objects because obviously I don't have the capacity, the birds do, to build these beautiful structures. And this one, I was thinking of a very large bird, like an eagle, and they're very sprawling, fantastic nests. It suffered its own natural disaster because it was much taller, and then I put it in the car and it suffered collapse. And that's just part of the whole process. But I like making this series. I'm still doing it. And there's these details here, the color, and then some rough elements, and this very sheltered inside, and you can also see the light coming through.